Welcome. Thank you for joining today. I am so glad you are here. Today's class is all about the hips and the glutes, really working into the abductors, adductors. Most of it will be seated or on hands and knees or lying down. Also, if you happen to have yoga blocks handy, go ahead and grab them. You never know. You can always make do without if you don't happen to have it. So that said, let's just hop right in. Find a comfortable seated posture to begin. You could sit on a block if you need to. You can sit with your back against the wall for a little support, whatever allows you to sit up nice and tall and find some stillness for a few breaths. So settle in, make any little wiggly adjustments that you need to make. Let your hands rest on your knees or your thighs. If it feels comfortable in the space that you're in, you can close your eyes. If not, just soften the gaze, look at the floor a few feet ahead of you. Maybe start to slow the breathing just a little bit. Maybe these are your first mindful, intentional breaths of the day. Take a moment to notice how they feel. Maybe notice what parts of the body move with each part of the breath. Take one more slow breath in through the nose. Slowly let it out. At the end of that exhale, you can flutter your eyes open if they were closed. Take a moment, adjust. Use your next inhale, lift the arms straight up overhead. Maybe the palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Do that 2 more times. Slow breath in, lift the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last one. Big breath in, lift the arms, palms might touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment here, switch the cross of your legs, whatever leg was on top, just switch that out. Use the next inhale, lift the arms up, look up. As you exhale, take a little side bend to your right. So let the right hand come down, you can reach the left arm overhead. Take a breath here. Inhale, come through center, lift the arms, take that side bend to the left. I'm going to do that one more time on each side. Lift the arms. Find that side bend to the right. You can stay just like this with the left arm reaching overhead. If you want to add a little extra for the shoulders and the upper back, bring your left hand behind your head. Exhale, twist your upper body towards the floor. Let that left elbow drop down a little. And then inhale, lift, lengthen, open up, maybe look up. 2 more times. Slowly close it in. Inhale, lift and lengthen, maybe look up. Last one. This time, as you inhale, straighten the arm, lift the opposite arm, come back through center, find your side bend to the left. Same thing. Stay here, stay just like this. Option to bring the hand behind the head. Open up the chest a little bit. Exhale, close off the posture, twist the torso. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Maybe look up 2 more times. Move with your own breath. Exhale, Close it off. Inhale, open it up, maybe look up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open it up, maybe lift the arm, lift the other arm. Exhale, hands to the heart. Really nice. From here, you're going to roll forward, make your way all the way to your hands and knees. Take your time getting there. Once you find that tabletop position, you're going to have your shoulders over your wrists, your hips are over your knees. Take any movements here that feel good to you for a second. So maybe you're just swaying the hips side to side. Maybe you're finding some cat cows. Maybe some spinal rolls. Eventually, we'll settle into stillness. We'll meet with a neutral spine and a flat back. We'll take 3 cat cows together. So use the breath in, lower the belly, lift the chest, start to look up. As you exhale, round through your spine, press the ground away with the palms, bring your chin to your chest. 2 more times. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, round through the spine, hug everything in. Last one, lower the belly, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, round through the spine, bring your chin to your chest. Come back to a neutral spine and a flat back. You can either walk your hands a little forward or walk your knees a little back, maybe both. We're making our way to a supported plank. So my shoulders are still over my wrists, but my knees are further back. Tops of my feet are on the mat and my spine is straight. So one straight spine, almost like it's a plank of wood. As you exhale, bend your elbows, slowly lower yourself all the way onto your belly. Once you get there, you can let the forehead rest. Bring your hands back to your low ribs. Hug the elbows in towards each other. We'll find a little bit of a back bend here. So press through the palms, press the feet down, press the hips down. Use the inhale, lift the chest. We're finding cobra pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower down. You can let the forehead rest. Hands are planted, elbows hugging towards each other. Use the inhale, lift the chest, maybe come up a little higher this time. Maybe the elbows straighten out a little bit. And then straighten the arm, round through the spine. Press your hips towards your heels. Find a child's pose. You can let the forehead rest. You can let the forearms rest. Take a breath. Slowly rolling forward with the inhale. Press through the palms. Come back to that supported plank. Straight spine. Tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, find your back bend. Exhale, round through the spine, hips come to the heels. Find a child's pose. Last one. Inhale, roll forward, supported plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, that little bit of a back bend. Exhale, round through the spine. Bring your hips to your heels, a child's pose. At any point throughout the practice, if you need to come back to this shape to rest, to come back to your breath, to recenter, please do so. With your next inhale, roll forward to tabletop. We're coming to all fours. Your left hand will stay planted. Extend your right arm out long. Find the balance. Get stable on that right shin. Extend your left leg back. Flex the left foot. Tuck the tailbone just a little bit. We're staying here. We're not doing anything else. Press through the left palm. Gaze towards the top of the mat. Try not to arch the back. Try not to have this back bend. Try to have a nice straight spine. Stay another breath. Exhale, lower the knee, lower the hand. Take a moment, maybe sway a little bit, and we'll switch sides. So the right hand will stay planted this time. Left arm extends out long. Get stable here. Check out that left shin. Eventually straighten out the right leg. Good. Flex the right foot. Tuck the tailbone a little bit. Press through that right palm. See if you can really engage through the right shoulder. Maybe gaze towards the top of the mat. Stay another breath. Slowly lower the hand, lower the knee, take a moment, wiggle a little, take a cat-cow, whatever it is that you need. When you are ready, come back to tabletop. We're heading into some of that glute work, some of that adductor work that we are focusing on today. So maybe bring your left shin a little more towards the center of the mat. Maybe your knee is sort of between, at least lined up between the thumbs. Pick up the right shin, let it hover. Try to stay really stable in the rest of the body. So shoulders stay stable, spine is neutral. Take that right leg out to the right. So you're just lifting the leg. Good. Bring it back through center. Shin is still hovering. Kick the leg back. Keep the knee bent. Maybe flex that right foot. Good. Come back to center. Do it again. Right leg to the right. Stay there for a second. Come back to center. The shin hovers. Kick the leg back. Come back to neutral. One more time and then we'll add on. So right leg to the right. Hold for a moment. Hug it in. Kick the leg back. Come back to neutral. Lower the right shin for a moment. You can come off of the wrists. Take a little break. I know your wrists might be talking to you. Maybe some circles. All right. If that was already enough work with those leg lifts and that glute kick, you don't have to add anything else in. If you need a little more of a challenge, you can take a block. You're going to bring it between your calf and your thigh on the right leg. You're going to have to squeeze the block with the leg. So you're squeezing the block the whole time. Pick up the right shin. Good. Right leg out to the right. You're still squeezing the block. Hug it into center. Kick the leg back. Still squeezing the block. Hello, hamstring. Good. Come back to center. Two more times. Right leg to the right. Hug it in. Kick it back. One more time. Right leg to the right. Squeeze the block. Come back to center. Kick it back. Good. Come back to center. Release the block. Lower the shin. Take a moment. Take some wrist circles. We have a left side to do, and then I promise we'll come off of these wrists. So set it up on the left side. You can do the first round without the block, and then we can add that part in. So find a neutral spine, find your tabletop. Maybe that right knee comes in just a little bit towards the center of the mat. Pick up the left shin, let it hover. Good. Eventually, left leg to the left. Try to keep the spine neutral. Try to keep the shoulders stable. Bring the leg back to center. Kick it back. Come through center. Left leg to the left. Hover and hold for a moment. Hug it in. Kick it back. Come back to center. Last round. Left leg to the left. Hold for a moment. Come back to center. Kick it back. Good. Lower the shin. Take a moment. Take a break. Shake out the wrist. Okay. If you need to add that extra piece, grab the block. Block comes between the left calf and the left thigh. Squeeze the block the whole time. You're engaging that hamstring the whole time. So right knee is planted. Maybe it's towards the center of the mat. Lift the left knee or the left shin. Left leg to the left. Come through center. Kick it back. 2 more full rounds. Left leg left. Center. Kick it back. Center. Lift the left leg. Center. Kick it back. And lower it down. Release the block. Come off of the wrists. Take some wrist circles. Do what you need to do. All right. We're going to make our way onto our side. So you can come onto your right side. So your right hip is on the mat. The right leg is out long and it is slightly towards the front of the mat. So it shouldn't be lined up with the hip and the shoulder. Give yourself a little kickstand. Bring that right foot a little forward. You can prop yourself up on your forearm. If this ends up being a little too much work, you can come down. You can extend that arm out and let the head rest. You can also support the head with your hand and still have the upper arm on the mat. So choose which option works for you. But the idea here is that your upper body isn't going to move a whole lot. You really need to engage your core and stay stable in the upper body. So if you find that you're moving around a whole lot, up on the top side, lower your torso down a little bit. Okay. Right leg is out long. Maybe you're starting on the forearm. Good. Left leg is out long. Your hand could be here to support yourself. If you find that you don't need that much support, you can also bring your hand to your hip. So wherever you can engage the core as much as possible. Left leg is long. Lift the left leg just a little bit. Turn the right toes down. So instead of letting the foot be neutral or letting the toes come up, try to keep the toes pointing down as much as possible. Lower that leg for just a second. We're going to lift and lower this leg 10 times, keeping those toes pointed down the whole time. So turn the toes down, lift the leg as high as you can, and then tap the toes. That's 1. Keep going. 2, 3, 4. My upper body isn't moving. 5, 6. What is yours doing? 7, 8. Good. 9, 10. Keep the leg lifted. Find some circles. Bring the leg forward. So a counterclockwise circle. That's 4. Keep the toe pointed down. 6, 7. Let's just do 8 and then switch directions. 1. Check out the upper body. What's it doing? 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keep the leg lifted. Kick the leg forward and then back just a little, not too far back. Forward and back. Good. 3. Keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Release the leg. Whew. Take a little break. I'm going to switch sides. You can just roll over onto your other side, but I want you to be able to see me. So go ahead, flip yourself over, make your way onto your left side. So figure out where your upper body needs to be, figure out how much support you need. That bottom leg comes a little bit forward, kind of like a kickstand. Good. Same thing here. Check out the toes. Point the toes down a little bit. When you're ready, we're lifting and lowering 10 times. So lift and lower, lift and lower. Toes point down. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep the leg lifted. Find those circles. Forward, forward circles. That's 3, 4. We're going to 8, 5, 6. Keep that upper body still. 7, 8. Switch directions. 1. Ooh, my thighs are talking to me too. My hips. Ooh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take the leg forward and back. Forward and back just a little. 3, 4, 5, 6. You got this. 2 more. 7 and 8. Good. Whew. Come all the way onto your belly. Take a little rest. You can take the feet wide. You can even come onto the outer edges of the feet. You might make a pillow out of the forearms. Can let the forehead rest. Take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, start to press yourself up just a little bit. Come onto your forearms. Bring your legs back in towards each other so that the feet are touching, thighs are touching, hips are down. You're going to come all the way onto the belly. You're going to let your forehead rest. Arms will come by your sides. Palms are facing up. Forehead is resting. Use the next inhale. You're going to lift the head, lift the chest, lift the feet. Hands might lift. They might stay down with the fingertips touching. Either way is fine. Take a couple more breaths. Really press the hips down. Really lift the chest. Squeeze the legs towards each other. And slowly lower down. Release. You can bring a cheek to the mat. You can let the forehead rest. You can windshield wiper the heels a little side to side. We're going to do that 2 more times. 2 more back bends. Listen carefully on this next one. It starts the same. Forehead resting, thighs touching, toes touching, palms face up. Use the breath in. Lift the head, lift the chest, lift the feet. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Press the hips down. Maybe just look forward. You can stay just like this. We have 5 more breaths. Maybe you find chaturanga arms. Bring your hands to the low ribs. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Lift the chest a little bit. Keep breathing. And slowly lower. Really. Maybe you bring the arms out in front. Maybe there's a little pillow for your forehead. You can shield wiper the heels side to side. All right, 1 more back bend. You can do either of the options that we just did. The third option is to interlace your fingers behind your back this time. So setting up the arms with the fingers interlaced. Forehead is still down, hips are down, thighs touching, toes touching. Use the inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, lift the feet, reach for whatever is behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe gaze towards the top of the mat just to keep the head and neck a little neutral. Press the hips down, lift the ribs up a little higher, pull them forward. Exhale, slowly release. Good. You can bend the knees this time if you want to. You could windshield wiper the whole shin side to side if you want. Maybe you bring the opposite cheek to the mat. Maybe it's your forehead resting. When you are ready, you're going to prop yourself up onto your forearms. We're going to take a little forearm plank. We're just going to hold the plank. So make sure your shoulders are over your elbows. Forearms are parallel with that long edge of the mat. Press the palms down. You can stay on your knees the whole time. So if you're doing that version, start to tuck the tailbone a little bit. Keep the knees down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You could stay like this the whole time. Option to tuck the toes, straighten out the legs. Keep breathing. Look towards the top of the mat. Press through the entire forearm. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. Really engage the core. If the knees are lifted, press the heels towards whatever is behind you. Take another breath. Stay one breath longer than you want to. When you have to, lower the knees. Make your way to a child's pose, round through the spine. Let the forehead rest. Maybe you bring the arms by your sides. Let the shoulders open up a little bit. Take a rest. Take a breath. Good. Slowly start to bring your hands next to your knees. Press yourself up to a seated posture. We'll make our way onto our back and take a quick inversion. If you happen to have a block, grab a block on the way. All right. Once you make it onto your back, you can lie down with the knees bent, feet planted. If you have that block, bring the block under the sacrum, right at the base of the spine. Arms can stay down, hands planted down. Start to lift the legs. The block should support most of the weight of your body. They shouldn't have to do a ton of work here. The legs might not be straight depending on your hamstrings, so the knees might be bent a little bit. If this is a really comfortable position, you might even close the eyes. Let the breath start to soften and relax. Let it settle a little bit. Maybe it slows down. Take 3 more breaths here with the legs lifted. At the end of your 3rd breath, start to bend the knees. Start to bring the feet towards the mat. Once the feet touch down, you can lift the hips, move the block out of the way, off to the side. Make your way to your Shavasana, your final resting posture. So that could be a traditional shape, legs out long, arms by your side. Maybe the feet flop open. If there's another shape that works better for you, that helps you find stillness, please take that. Make any final adjustments that you need to. Eventually close the eyes. Let the breath fall into its natural pattern. And take rest. If you can stay in Shavasana even longer, please do so. You need to move on with your day. You can slowly start to draw your attention back to your body. Maybe take some deeper breaths. Begin finding gentle movement. Maybe it's fingers wiggling, toes wiggling. Maybe the head moves side to side. Finding larger movements that make sense for you. So maybe it's a full body stretch. Maybe you start to bend the knee. Maybe you windshield wiper them side to side. Maybe you like to hug them in towards your chest. Start to make your way onto one side or the other. Make it comfortable. Maybe make a little pillow out of the arm that's underneath. Take a few breaths here. Maybe close the eyes. Take your time. Slowly start to make your way up to a comfortable seated posture. Once you get there, close your eyes, bring your hands to heart center. We'll take one last breath together. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. Bring your hands to your forehead center. Peace onto you. Peace onto me. Peace onto the earth. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again on your mat soon.